All right, good afternoon. The June 23rd, 2026 meeting of the Seattle City Council will come to order. It is 2:03 p.m. I am Joy Hollingsworth, Council President. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Juarez.
Here.
Councilmember Kettle.
Here.
Councilmember Lynn.
Here.
Councilmember Rink.
Here.
Councilmember Rivera. Councilmember Saka.
Here.
Councilmember Foster.
Here.
Council President Hollingsworth.
Here.
7 present.
Awesome. And if there's no objection, Councilmember Rivera will be excused today from council meeting. Hearing no objection, Councilmember Rivera is excused today, and then also Councilmember Strauss is excused today as well. Colleagues, good afternoon. Today, we will present a proclamation recognizing June 23rd, 2026 to be Horace Lorenzo Anderson Jr. Day. I want to thank you again for your support, honoring some of the families who have lost loved ones to gun violence this month. It is Gun Violence Prevention Month, and I want to thank Councilmember Rivera for her proclamation highlighting this at the beginning of the month. Today, we have the privilege of recognizing Donita Sinclair and her family, and I'm a little emotional, so I apologize. I'm going to take my time on this. For her family and Horace Lorenzo Anderson Jr., who was gunned down in June 2020 on Capitol Hill. He was described by his friends and family as a kind and sweet soul. He graduated interagency academy's youth education program, and he loved basketball. He also loved to make music, spending time to write lyrics and develop hip hop songs. He was focused on, he wanted what we all want, colleagues, getting a stable house, getting a job. He wanted to start a family. This proclamation is not only honoring his life, but it's also the impact he had since his passing in 2020. His mother, Miss Donita Sinclair, who is with us today, just like the other families who we have honored this month, have turned their pain into progress. Ms. Donita founded and started an organization called We Got Us Moms. And this is a grassroots organization based in Seattle. It operates as a vital support network and advocacy group for mothers who have lost children to gun violence. And we've seen Ms. Sinclair advocate in the news, within the community, is often the first person to reach out to moms, the parents, the families who've been impacted by gun violence to help provide some type of healing and comfort during this time, during this pain. And so we're honored to be able to present this proclamation honoring her son, Horace Lorenzo Anderson Jr., for his life, and also, We Got Us Moms and the work that has been done in our community, from healing circles to comfort baskets to attending funerals to advocacy, helping to shape policy and being a voice of lived experience for people who have been impacted by gun violence. And it's really a blessing to have. Colleagues, I humbly ask for your support in the signatures for this proclamation. And if there's no other comments, I'm going to call on the clerk so we can sign this proclamation, and then we're going to ask the family to speak as well as they accept this, and we'll suspend the rules to do that. But we are honored to have the family here. I know we have family and friends that are here to honor Horace's life, but also bring awareness to gun violence that has impacted our community and the laws that we sit up here and make, how it impacts you all in this audience, and what we need to do better as city council, what we need to do better as mayor's office, what we need to do better as legislators as we are making these laws and trying to figure out how we continue to fight this one day at a time. So want to thank you all for being here. I will pause to see if any of my colleagues have anything they want to add to this, but if not, we will call the roll. Councilmember Kettle.
Thank you, Council President. I just wanted to say, and I've made this point to Council President, but I think it's important. On Memorial Day, I gave a speech at the Garden Remembrance, and Major Savino was killed during the Iran War. She was an Air Force pilot in the KC-135. and I gave a speech at that Memorial Day, and her parents were at Arlington, but we had 10 family members in front, and I was speaking to them. And one of the things I said to them is based on my experience in Iraq, is that, and others that have been killed in service, is that there's that fear that their loved one that's been lost is being forgotten. And one of the things I said in that speech is that they're not forgotten. They're not forgotten. I remember all the time November 8th, 2004, when two were killed, or April 26th, 2004, when they were killed, and on Memorial Day. They're always remembered on those days. And so it's the same here, too. Because it's easy to say, hey, everybody's forgotten. They're moving on with their lives and so forth. But I think it's important to take time and say, hey, and have somebody like me from like a different angle in terms of like what I said to Major Savino's family, that she's not going to be forgotten. It's been 22 years since the 4 people in my unit in Iraq that were killed. It's like yesterday. And so deep inside, I think it's important to remember that your lost loved ones will not be forgotten, because there's so many people. And here's the thing, too, that I made. There's people that you know, but then there's people that you don't know that will remember your lost one, too. And that's the case in every instance that I know, of course, my career. They don't even realize that there's people that remember their lost ones. So, Council President, I just wanted to say that. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Kettle. Seeing no other further comments, will the clerk please call the roll on the signature for the proclamation today?
Councilmember Juarez.
Aye.
Councilmember Kettle.
Aye.
Councilmember Lynn.
Yes.
Councilmember Rink.
Yes.
Councilmember Saka.
Aye.
Councilmember Foster.
Yes.
Council President Hollingsworth.
Yes.
7 signatures will be affixed.
Awesome. So today, June 23rd, 2026, is Horace Lorenzo Anderson Jr. Day. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, if no one has any objection, I'm going to suspend the rules. I'll come present this to you and the family, and then you all are more than welcome to say some words. Okay? Awesome. So I'll come down here and bring this to you. So just by the way, because we signed it today, this is a dry copy, so it's not signed, but we'll affix our signatures after the meeting, and I'll get you a copy as well. So I'll give this to you. All right? And then you can come up and present.
I want to say thank you, each and every one of you guys. I know I come up here and I be fussing at y'all about doing the work and supporting us, but it's serious. It could be you. And I don't want you guys to ever think that it can't happen to you. And I'm sorry if I've been disrespectful sometimes. This is just the beginning, you guys. This work has to continue. And I appreciate you, Kettle, understanding that lived experience and not letting it be unrecognized, you know? I really wasn't prepared for this, because this ain't celebration, you know? This is the life that I'm gonna never see again. But I do appreciate you guys. I thank you guys for, you know, believing in us, believing in the work that we're doing. You know, it's not easy. We're dealing with a lot, but we need you. We need you for real. This ain't a game. Everybody in here is impacted. They here because they want the help from you. I appreciate every last one of you. I don't have a spiel, but I can just tell you thank you from the bottom of my heart, and let the work continue. All right.
Is there anyone else who wanted to speak that you had? Mr. Peter Manning.
Good afternoon, Council. I love this sister. I walked with her on her journey. This is a great day for her to be recognized and to have her son recognized. And this is as closest that we've got for the city to take responsibility for what happened. Okay, so I want that to, we should really understand that. And I also want to understand and point out that we do not have Katie Wilson here today. This is a day that this mayor should be here to show this woman support. And I'm calling her out for it. Katie Wilson ain't doing nothing for black people. She used us to get in office and ain't doing nothing for us. And we're not gonna forget that when the next time, when we go to vote, we're gonna remember that. You know, I just have to say that. I didn't wanna crowd there, but I appreciate what you guys are doing for this sister. I really do, and thank you.
Do you have other folks, Miss Felicia? Okay.
Hi, I'm Felicia Cross.
Pull the microphone, Miss Felicia. You're
I'm
good.
Felicia Cross, and I'm here today to honor my friend who does not give up. I talked long hours, days and days with Donita, but she don't know how much she does for me. Keeping, you know, as far as her drive for community, it's easy to want to give up sometimes, but I've never felt that with her. And I didn't know her before any of this. It's just that I worked for a community, and she was like, "Well, what are you doing?" You know, she didn't slam the phone in my face a few times, but it's all love and her passion. So you guys have done a great thing today. Just to pause a moment, and just like you said, Ms. Kettle, to not forget, because not a day goes by, not a minute goes by that she doesn't. And I just want you to know that no matter what it seems like, what it feels like, it's a slow process to get to change, but your community loves you. I know I do. Thank you.
Amen. All right, and I see Lorenda is part of your group too, Miss Donita? Okay, awesome. This will be our last speaker. Come on, Reed. Good to see you.
It's good to see you. Hey, Joy.
One more, okay.
Good morning. Well, good afternoon to all you guys. Gun violence. Donita, the tenacity that she's had and the families that she's worked with, or just the phone calls she's gotten when she didn't want to receive phone calls. Her heart just never stops. It just is continuous. And it's all about healing, healthiness, and what can we do, like collaboratively? What can we do? I've never seen a young woman so young just to really push and push against odds and not care if people don't like her, not care if people, what they feel, because she's going off of her heart. And I've always admired that. I told her today I admire her. And I don't know a lot of women that they make like Donita. And I just want to acknowledge her through the chaos, the pain, for her to just see another bright and sunny day. And I love you.
I think we have one more speaker. Yes? Did you say we have one more? Yes? Absolutely. Come on.
Hello, everyone. My name's Ken Sinclair. I'm Donita's oldest brother. Lorenzo was my nephew. I just want to thank the city for having that moral responsibility to recognize Lorenzo and Donita and giving them this day. But I also want to use this time to share with you how important it is that we don't keep coming back to this space. So it's really important that you continue to fund organizations like Community Passageways so that we can help families like mine. Thank you.
Thank you. No worries. You're good. Thank you. So next what we'll do, we'll come take a photo with Donita, whoever else you want to invite, we'll take a photo. Do we have council staff here? We have, awesome, Deanna Lee. We'll come to the middle. We're all going to take a photo with Donita, and then we will jump right into public comment. All right, awesome, thank you. Just come to this side right here. Okay, awesome, thank you. Yeah, come on. You in the middle. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Getting the whole team. I know. I'm your boo. Right here. Thank you. Right. You in the middle. Right here. You're right here. We're gonna face this way. Yeah, we're just gonna we're gonna scrunch in as best we can. We're gonna face right here.
Okay. And then
We'll scrunch in. Thank you.
I'm putting first right now. So should I hold it open? Hi, Frey, you made
Yeah,
it.
hold it open. And we're looking right here. And count us down, Deanna Lee, please.
We did it, Nino. We fighting, son.
Thank you.
Don't start.
Not a political one. That's right. I almost said something. You said it right. Oh, absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you. Awesome. We're going to jump right into public comment. And I do want to say something before we jump into public comment. Last week, there have been comments about how proclamations are performative and all this other stuff. And I do want to highlight last week the family that we honored, which was Connor Dasa Holland's family. Right after we honored Connor, that family took that proclamation to the grave of Connor and took a picture because it was so important to them about us honoring his son. And I shared that photo with my colleagues because they posted it. So I just want people to know how important it is for us to recognize people in our community and how important it was to that family because they highlighted how it was something that they wanted to share with Connor, that recognition. So I just wanted to say that as well. Councilmember, thank you, Councilmember Juarez.
Can I stand?
Yes, absolutely, you can stand.
Take a point of personal privilege here and say the family again. I told her it's nice to see her. She's not hollering at me, but that's okay. You can do it anytime. As somebody who has sat on this council and watched proclamations and sometimes become performative, I think what people, here's a gentleman that said we had a moral responsibility. Where is he at? Did he leave? Oh, there he is. He's waving at me. Okay. There he is. Him and I talked. And what I want to share, what we know from Indian country when we talk about saying someone's name. And I want to thank Council President because we've had long talks about what it means to be part of a community. And I know people throw the word community around a lot. I come from Indian country, a tribe, and people use that word tribe wrong as well too. But you know what that feeling is when you belong to a group and to a tribe. And so when you hurt one, you hurt them all. And also, I don't know who the gentleman that said this, when you talked about the moral responsibility, as a city, we have a moral responsibility, not a political, whatever your politics are on that, nobody cares. But when we lose a life, and this council president has done something that I haven't seen a lot of folks do, is to take the proclamation, as we do in Indian country, and do an honoring. And we say their name, and we remind everybody who they are, that their family's still here, and then that they're not gone. And so for that, Council President, I want to thank you because what she's bringing and what I bring from my own culture is the shared leadership, the shared pain, and that feeling of like, now I see you. I see all of you folks. And so for that, thank you, and thank you, Council President, for doing this and making this mean something. Thank you.
Thank you. Yay. And now we're going to transition right into public comment. So want to thank Donnie Sinclair and her family for being here and all of your inspiring words from your village and your community. And now we're going to jump into public comment, and we're just so grateful for y'all as well. And you're my boo, okay? You've said it publicly that I'm your boo, so I just want to, not the boo, not the bad boo, okay? The boo, I'm just fine. All right. Next, so colleagues, at this time, we're going to open up the hybrid public comment period, and public comment is limited to items on today's agenda, the introduction referral calendar, council's work program, and the council cannot accept comments on quasi-judicial items or on campaign-related matters. So you can speak about anything but those. Clerk, I know how many speakers we have.
33 so far, including remote.
Okay, so because of council rules, anytime we have 30 to 60, we have to have 1 minute per speaker. If it's under 30, then we do 2 minutes. Those are council rules that we always abide by. So we do have to have 1 minute because we do have over 30 speakers. Clerk, will you please read the instructions to public comment?
Public comment period will be moderated in the following manner. Speakers will be called in the order in which they registered. Speakers will hear a chime when 10 seconds are left of their time. Speakers' mics will be muted if they do not end their comments within the allotted time to allow us to call on the next speaker. Public comment period is now open, and we'll begin with the first speaker on the list.
Awesome, thank you. All right, and I'll say the first 10 speakers so you know you're on deck. We have Ron, I'm assuming you're Ron. Awesome, then we have Crystal, then we have Angel, we have Patience, we have Kaya, we have, I think it's Javier, something Johnson, I can't read that, I'm sorry. 2 Johnsons, Sasha and Tashia. Hopefully I said that right. So if you all start coming, we have 2 mics. So we have Ron, and we have Crystal next, and then Angel and Patience. If we start lining up, that would be great. And Ron, you are up. Thank you.
Okay, good morning, or good afternoon. I'd like to thank the council and the mayor's office for all their work on Aurora. Made a big difference really quick. But there's more to do on Aurora. For the last 22 years, we've been trying to do a rebuild. And we have money right now to start this thing tomorrow. But these same people wanting to do land use along there keep throwing a wrench in this thing, keeps trying to slow it down. Now they want to go another 2 years planning, another 4 years before they want to start. We have the money to do this right now. It's on a time limit. There's only so much money for planning in the Licton Springs area. And I'm hoping the council will do the exact same thing and start this project. We're 22 years going into this thing. It needs to start now. Thank you.
Thank you, Ron. Next we have Crystal. Crystal followed by Angel and then Patience. Welcome, Crystal. And we have 2 mics. You all can use either or.
Just wanted to thank you guys all for listening to me. It's an honor to be here. I didn't know this was happening today, but I'm glad I got to witness that. Now I only have a minute to speak. I wrote my thing was 2 minutes, but I'm gonna do my best. Okay. I'm here today asking you to continue to fund our Southeast Safety Team and trusted community-based organizations that are already doing this work. Over the last year, we built something that didn't exist before, a true safety ecosystem between schools, community organizations, SPD, and families and community and city partners. That happened because of the trust and consistency in relationships by us simply showing up every day. When a young person is struggling, we don't just see what happens at school, we help address what's happening at home, in the neighborhood, and in their lives. We connect families to resources, prevent conflicts from escalating, support students through crisis, and help young people safe and engaged. This work only works because of relationships we built. If funding changes and these trusted teams disappear, those relationships disappear. We're asking you to keep our team funded throughout the entire school year and invest in ongoing funding so this work can continue in the future. Thank you all for your time and commitment to our youth and families.
Thank you, Crystal. Angel.
Good afternoon, Mayor and council members. My name is Angel Depperdine. I'm 19 years old. I'm the oldest sibling of 5, a proud person of Seattle. I am here to speak about the community passageways and the impact that they had in my life. I moved from Houston to Seattle when I was 16 years old, leaving everything that I had starting over in the new city was one of the hardest transitions of my life. I felt lost, overwhelmed, and unsure of what my future would look like. That changed when I found Community Passageways. Community Passageways became one of the biggest support systems in my life. They did not just tell me they cared, they showed me through actions. When I wanted to start my hair business, they funded it. When I wanted to start my lash businesses, they funded it. When I got my first apartment at 18, they helped me furnish my apartment and paid the rent twice. Most recently, when I attended a driving school, Community Passageways paid for that, but their full impact goes beyond their financial support. They gave me mentorship, guidance, people who truly believe in me, people like Miss Yosan, Miss Crystal.
You're good. You're good. Thank you, Angel. You're good. Before you go, we have welcome. Thank you, Angel. We have Patience, followed by Kaya, and then Javier. Patient. Yeah, with Patience. Kaya. Yeah, go ahead, Patience. You good.
Good afternoon, council members. My name is Patience Britton, and I'm a proud graduate of Allen T. Sujiyama High School. I am here today to ask you to continue funding Community Passageways. Community Passageways has helped me and other students with groceries, academic support, sports, Christmas assistance, prom, and graduation. These may seem like simple things, but for many young people, they make all the difference. Community Passageways doesn't just provide resources, they provide opportunities. They help students stay engaged in school, participate in activities, and reach important milestones that every young person deserves to experience. They make students feel supported, valued, and capable of succeeding. Without this funding, many students and families could lose access to programs and support that have a real impact on their lives. Community Passageways has invested in our futures, and now I'm asking you to invest in theirs. Please continue funding for Community Passageways so they can keep serving students and families in our community. Thank you for your time and consideration. I hope we can count on your support.
Thank you, Patience.
Kaya, I'm a Community Passageways participant, and I don't think there's an aspect of my life that Community Passageways has not touched. They've supported me through my transition to college, both fiscally, getting myself set up and secure, and also emotionally, because that was hard, and now I have 1 year left. The spaces of community they've created are only possible, and the help that they provide is only possible because of the trust they've built with me and with my community. And we only want them. And so we're asking that you guys please find the money to fund them and support them into this next school year and beyond, because it's that consistency, it's seeing those same faces and the same blue hoodies on the streets every day that is making me feel safe in my community and making me supported. Thank you.
Thank you, Kaya. Next, we have. How do I pronounce your name? I know it's not. Is it Javon?
It's Javion.
Javion, that's my bad. I said Javier. You probably looked at me crazy. My bad. Javion, go ahead, brother.
I'm a participant of Community Passageways, and I just want to say to keep funding the Community Passageways. And I just want to say they do a lot of things in the neighborhood. Like, they support families, they support kids. Whatever they need, they got you. If you need an Amazon order, just hit them. I'm not gonna lie. Amazon orders becoming a clutch. I just want to say they're a part of the community, and if you take them out, the community just go keep getting worse and worse and worse. And I feel like they play a big part in the neighborhood, and that's all I gotta say.
Thank you. Then Johnsons. I can't read people's handwriting. I apologize. Two Johnsons. Two last names Johnsons. Johnsons? It's okay if you don't. No? Come on. Don't be scared. You good? Stand and deliver.
I'm Cameron Johnson.
I'm Queen Johnson.
We're a part of the community. I graduated last year in 2025, and
I think you guys should continue to fund the community's passageway. Like recently when we lost 2 people around our school, they made the community feel safe to go up to the bus stop, and they was just there for us, like when we was going through that mentally, emotionally, and physically.
They're a big part of the community. They make us feel safe, and they make sure that they communicate with us and make sure they ask if we're doing well. And they walk around the community throughout the school year and even after the school year, and they just make sure that we're all safe in our community.
Thank you. Sasha, and then Tashia. Sasha and Tashia. Did I say that right? Sasha. My bad. Come on, queens. Come on, queens. Love seeing my queens. Come on up.
Hi, guys. Thank you for the opportunity to speak today. My name is Sasha. I'm here on the behalf of Sashi and my community. I'm her mother. She's a participant. I have firsthand seen the impact of this program and this team that they've had over the past 2 years. I strongly urge the City Council to continue to supporting and funding this program. They play, the dedicated staff play a critical role in the safety and well-being and the development of our youth. Every day they step into challenging and often unforeseen situations to provide guidance, stability, and support for our young people who need it most. This program goes far beyond basic services. It supports the mental health of our teens. It provides positive mentorship and connects them with educational opportunities to help prepare them for the future. It takes a village to raise and support our youth, and this program has become an essential part of that village. Losing this resource would be a devastating loss to our children, families, and our community. So I just respectfully ask that you guys continue to invest in this program and the young people it serves.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Tashia? Is it Tashia? Thank you. Is it Tashia? No? I didn't say right. Before you go, hold on. Let me say the next names. Okay, next we have Centrib. Is it Centrib? My bad. Okay, my bad. Leandro, Brandon, Diane, Ingrid, and I'll stop there. Go right ahead.
Okay. Hi, my name is Tasia, and I'm a resource navigator with Community Passageways Southeast. My role is to help our youth and families overcome barriers and build stability in their lives. I've helped prevent evictions, supported youth transitioning from homelessness into stable housing, and assisted them in reaching personal goals, providing things like sports equipment and promised necessities. Through trauma-informed care, I help youth obtain important documents such as IDs, birth certificates, social security cards, removing barriers in housing, employment, and other opportunities. I've supported youth through their major milestones, including getting their first cars, their first apartments. I've also helped families with legal issues, food, diapers, medical needs, and utility assistance to keep the lights on during difficult times. Most importantly, I've served as a trusted support person for youth and families who may not have one. Through our stipend-based programs, we help young people explore their interests while building responsibility, job readiness, and life skills. My work is about creating opportunities, providing support, relationships, and helping people move towards a more stable and successful future. We ask that you find the money somewhere.
Go right ahead. Whenever you're ready, you can start. Go ahead. And there's 2 microphones. You all can come either or that one, whatever one you want.
Okay. That day I had walked into the room, that first day I walked into the community passage room, I had had the worst night of the worst month, year of my life. I was homeless. I had been sleeping in my car, and they helped me through that. They didn't just help me, they invested in me. They gave to me. They taught me how to not crumble under pressure. They taught me how to push through adversity, how to climb to where I can work towards my dream. And I didn't just see, I wasn't just a case file like every one of them. I had They had personally helped me, each and every one of them, taking time out of their day, even off the clock. These people they're very good people, and they don't have the feeling to do what they need. But I just ask you, as a recently graduate, to help them help people.
Thank you. We have Leandro, followed by Brandon and Diane. So Brandon and Diane are up. Leandro, welcome.
Good afternoon, council members. My name is Leo, and I am a community safety ambassador with the Southeast Street Team and the Community Passageways. I'm here to speak about safe passage in Rainier Beach and why this work is critical. Every day, our team is on the ground helping to keep youth safe, de-escalating conflicts, preventing fights, and supporting students on their way to and from school. I've personally helped de-escalate situations and supported youth with basic needs like food and getting home safely. Safe passage is essential. Every day between 3 to 5 p.m., more than 100 to 200 students pass through this Rainier and Henderson corridor, and many encounter situations that can feel unsafe. Our presence provides stability and trusted support. We are not asking for something new. We are asking you to continue supporting a trusted team that already serves the community every day. This work is saving lives, and it would be a disservice to youth and families in South Seattle to lose it. Thank you.
Brandon, Diane is next, and then Ingrid.
Hello, City Council. My name is Brandon Hill, Co-Director of Community Passageway Southeast Street Team and Safe Passage. Today, I want to emphasize the vital role of community safety. Our street team focuses on communities outreach through violence de-escalation and intervention, building strong relationships with youth and families. We collaborate closely with our resource navigators. Together, we form a crucial support system. We act as a bridge between the community and the Seattle police. Our safe passage coverage in the Rainier Beach area runs from 8:30 to 9:30 a.m. for school let-in, 11:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. for lunch, and 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. for school let-out, Monday through Friday, and sometimes on the weekends during community events. Over the years, we have successfully intervened in numerous situations, including a recent incident where rival gangs gathered at Rainier Beach Community Center. Thanks to our established relationships, we diffused a potentially dangerous situation involving 80 to 100 people without any violence in the parking lot. I'm deeply committed to this trauma-informed care and community violence intervention work, especially as a proud graduate of Rainier Beach High School. We host community healing space events, providing hot meals and fostering connections. Thank you for your attention and for considering the funding necessary to sustain this vital work.
Thank you, Brandon.
Thank you.
Next, we have Diane. We have Ingrid, Matea, Kara, Amenity, Christine, Catherine.
Hi, my name is Diane Tiao. I live in Rainier Beach, and I'm a mom to 3 young boys, 3, 5, and 7. I'm also a Seattle Public Schools employee. I just finished my 13th year teaching second grade in my neighborhood. I wanted to share a couple stories with you today, stories that I have to bury deep down to keep going, but never forgotten. I once taught a second grader who was at a West Seattle student track meet and with their older brother watched as their dad was shot and murdered in front of them. He had come to chaperone field trips, and it was heavy attending his funeral. A former student entering 9th grade was shot and killed by his house at New Holly one summer. It was beyond heavy seeing his sister, who I'd taught in 2nd grade, at the time in 8th grade, with their mom at a community circle at South Shore. This heaviness I feel is alleviated by knowing that there are people out there in the community passageways, Southeast Seattle Community Initiative, the street team, the resource navigators. They have already done this prevention work. They've already spent the time building relationships, establishing connections, form bond with youth and families in the neighborhood. It's inequitable to take away this program that already exists and erases all the work it took to build that trust. And so I ask for you to keep on funding that.
Thank you, Diane.
Hi, Council.
I'm sorry. My 1 second. We won't start your time yet. Ingrid, you're Ingrid?
Yes.
Awesome. Then Matea, Kara, Amenity, sorry if I mispronounce your name, Christine, and Catherine.
Hi, my name is Ingrid. I have a 4-year-old at South Shore in the pre-K program, and I've been a resident at Rainier Beach for 10 years. My 4-year-old's name is Rebel Rose, and she loves to dance. She's funny, she's goofy, she's precious to me, she's a gift to this world. and we love our neighborhood. But I'm also really scared for her. I'm scared for her because there's been multiple shootings outside her school. I'm scared for her because the park that she loves to play at, there was a big shooting a year ago where a kid got shot, grazed. I'm scared for her because the Safeway where we shot, there's shootings. And I know that one of the few things we have in our neighborhood is community passageways, is one of the few things that keeps us safer. They do real violence prevention intervention. They are creating public safety. And we don't need less of them, we need more of them. And so we're asking you, council, find the money because we will be less safe. My kid will be less safe. Our kids will be less safe if they're not here this summer, if they're not here next school year. Thank you.
We have Matea followed by Kara. Did I say it right, Matea?
You did.
Awesome. Oh, praise God. Thank you. Okay, Matea, go ahead.
Hi, you guys. My name is Natea Brown. I am a case manager with Community Passageway Southeast. I am just basically asking for the city to continue to invest in our youth and invest in our communities by keeping Community Passageway Southeast around. As a case manager, I'm in the schools Monday through Friday. We're at all community events. So the connection between school and then out on the street, school-based safety, it's needed. Both teams are needed, not just one over the other, because together, this is how we make the difference. Not only do we provide safe passage and emotional support, but we also run programs that teach kids emotional intelligence and how to cope, because they are gonna need these skills as young adults moving forward. They deserve to have trusted adults like us who they have confided in, who they do trust to be around moving forward and just in the future of the community. Thank you.
Cara?
Cara, yep.
Awesome. Cara, and then Amini, and then Christine and Catherine. Go ahead.
My name is Cara Matheson. I'm here as a Rainier Beach community member, a mom, a nurse, and most of all, a person who cares about our youth in our community. In the past 6 years, I've witnessed more occasions of gunfire and gun threats than I can count, including 2 gun-related injuries in my front yard. I've witnessed the deep pain of close neighbors in our community who have lost loved ones to gun violence. Rising up through this is a steadfast, committed Community Passageways program. The impact of their work and these individuals on the team is critical to the individuals they work with, but the ripples go further. In the second half of this school year, when Rainier Beach was reeling from the loss of 2 precious students, this team brought a presence of care and trust and safety that touched our schools and our businesses and our neighbors. Funding decisions are hard, they're nuanced, and I want to acknowledge that. I'm here to better understand and advocate for continuous, predictable, programmatic funding so that our youth can be served through this trusted team of Community Passageways. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Amity?
Amity.
Amity. I'm
Yes.
sorry. Amity, followed by Christine and Catherine. Hi, Amity. Welcome.
Thank you. My name is Amity Bjork, and I've lived in Rainier Beach for 22 years. I'm a criminal defense attorney. I work with kids and young adults charged with violent crimes. Summertime in Rainier Beach, we all get used to the sound of gunfire. And I'm sure I'm not the only person in the room who heard the gunfire that killed those boys this March. It's something that we get used to, and it's something that nobody should be accustomed to. One of the best ways to stop or reduce, but hopefully someday stop, kids going to the cemetery, going to the carceral system, and the impact that it has on everybody else who's left. One of the best ways to stop that we have right here is Community Passageways and programs like that. So I'm asking that you do what you can to find money. You heard about the services they provide, the community service providers, navigators, the street teams, the case managers. So please do what you can.
Christine, welcome. And we have Catherine, welcome.
Hi, my name is Christine King. I'm a parent, a community member in the Rainier Beach neighborhood, and a nurse at Harborview. And I'm here along with standing up for this team, along with the hundreds of community members who signed the petition you received last night. and we're here to support Community Passageways in the vital work they do. It's been a hard year. I've been in Rainier Beach for 22 years, and this is not the first hard year. I've raised my children there the whole time, and we love the community, we love the neighbors in the neighborhood, and we need community passageways. When we see them in the community, it's one of the few things that make us feel safer. I personally have had the police point a gun at me and scream at me when I was with my 3-year-old holding her head against my chest. There are not a lot of things in our community that make us feel safer in the worst times, and community passageways is one of those. They're there for us in the worst times, and they're there for us in the best times, and we need you to fund them this summer, this school year, and ongoing committed funding that we don't have to be back here next year fighting this battle again. We fight too many battles.
Thank you, Christine. Catherine, welcome. And then followed by Catherine, I'm going to say the next sheet. We have Miss Carolyn Malone. We have Atia. I apologize if I mess up your name. Nicholas, Jeannie, Noah, Clive, Charles, Howard Gill, Miss Yvette Dinish, and then Garrick. And then there's people that have signed up over here. And if you're online, we're going to get through people that are in person first. Welcome.
Good afternoon. My name's Catherine Parker. I'm a Madrona resident and a parent of 2 young adult sons. And I'm here because I believe so fervently in Community Passageways work. I volunteered with them for the last 7 years. In fact, I stood here for the first time 7 years and asked this council for funding for them when they hardly got any public funding. I've worked with them in the Central District for much of that time, and then for the last year, I've had the privilege of working with the Southeast team at the Rainier Beach Community Center at the Healing Space and pop-up events that bring neighbors together and offer healthy meals and resources and community. I organize other volunteers to join me in this work with Community Passageways in Rainier Beach, and I'll tell you that people quickly raise their hands to do this. And that's because we love working side by side with the Community Passageways staff. They have such a strong work ethic and energy that is super positive, caring, and infectious as they tend to the young people and families in the Southeast community in ways that are truly making a difference.
Thank you. Miss Malone, Miss Carolyn Malone, I see you. Take your time, you're all good. Then we have Atia, Nicholas, Jeannie.
I'm Carolyn Malone, senior living on First Hill in HUD-supported housing. And in living in HUD-supported housing, I have a right to safe housing. I am not safe there. I'm constantly in danger, my health and my life, because of this rogue cop that city council, police, or no one is willing to deal with. He should not be living in tax-supported housing. And because of him, on November 4th, I was given an eviction summons. On February 18th of this year, I went to eviction court and the case was dismissed. I represented myself because this is my mobile file cabinet. On May 8th, I received another notice of eviction summons. He's constantly trying to evict me from my housing of 7 years. He's only been there 4 illegal
years. I know I mess up your name. Anyone you want. How do I say your name?
Atia.
Atia, okay. Atia, and then 1 second, Atia. Nicholas, Jeannie, Noah, Clive, Charles, Howard Gill, Yvette, Garrick. Welcome. Whenever you're ready, we'll start the time.
I'm ready. My name's Atia Yafio, and I live in Rainier Beach. I'm a mother, a community member, artist, and survivor.
Let's start the time. Speak right into the mic so we can hear you. You're good. We'll restart your time. Can we restart her time?
Is that better now?
Perfect. Okay, hold on. We'll start. Okay, now you're ready.
Okay. I'm Atia Yafio. I live in Rainier Beach, and I am a mother, community member, artist, and survivor. My daughter attends South Shore. I want to say that the impact of Community Passageways Southeast team is deeply valued and felt in Rainier Beach. We walk to and from school every day, and I just want to say that in order for communities to thrive, we must invest into the well-being of our youth. I reflect on my youth and think about how the absence of parental support at home seeped into everything. And I think about how an organization like Community Passageways didn't exist, but it's here now. We have the team that's built it. Relationship building is so important for interrupting violence in all things. And I just want to say, it takes a whole community to raise one child. If funding for the Southeast team is not continued, can you imagine how that will impact one child, how that will impact our community, how that will impact generations? It will seep out. What impacts one impacts all.
Thank you.
I am asking for funding to be continued for the Southeast team.
Thank you. Nicholas, Jeannie, Noah, Clive, welcome.
Sorry, I've got really bad anxiety, so.
You're okay. Take your time. Couple breaths. You're all good. No one's watching. I'm just lying. I got you.
Good afternoon, Council. My name is Nicholas Alexander Childers. I'm here to represent myself over a work injury case and how it's being handled. I experienced a work injury in 2021. It was spinal. It put me out of work. They opened the L&I case. Everything was progressing. I was getting treatment. However, that treatment began to stagnate, and I started to fall back in progress. Common sense would have dictated to get a scan of my back to see if there was anything wrong with discs. However, the doctors refused. Went into a medical malpractice case. The lawyers had my case thrown out on the basis of a tort claim having not been turned in, RCW 496020, Section 4. I basically met the requirements for substantial compliance and for equitable tolling. Unfortunately, they threw it out with prejudice. It's very short. Went to appeals court. They had the same decision without explanation. We were trying to use the same statute that was already approved at the first hearing, and they're not allowing us, so I'm not sure how to progress from there.
You're good. I'm going to get my team to give you my card so I can listen, so I can hear what you need. Okay? Thank you, Nicholas. You're good. Can someone from my team connect with Nicholas? Thank you, Alex. Thanks, Cam. All right. Jeannie,
Yes.
welcome.
My name is Jeannie Hsu. I live on North Capitol Hill in Seattle's 3rd District. I am a retired elementary school teacher and have advocated for gun violence prevention and supported organizations like Community Passageways because of their lived experiences and hence effectiveness in their mission to help and empower youth, young adults, and their families in need of support. I have learned and come to fully appreciate what should have been obvious all along, the guiding principle of giving people who are closest to a situation a strong voice in finding its solutions, particularly because community-based and led organizations working in communities of color, like Community Passageways, have historically been undervalued and underfunded. I urge you to fully fund Community Passageways Southeast Safety Team so they can continue to provide their life-affirming services to the communities in which they work.
Thank you. Noah, then Clive, then Charles.
Hey, how y'all doing? I'm Noah Harper. I work with the street team on Community Passageway. There's a lot of obviousness going on, if you ask me. The kids obviously need something to do and somebody to look up to. Right now, if you take us away, it's nobody out there. It's nothing for them to do. It's a lot of violence going on in that community, and so we're there to kind of tell them, hey, We see some guys that don't like you. You guys need to go this way or go home. Let's take you home. If you replace us, who they gonna hop in the car with some random just new people? No, they're not gonna do that. They're gonna be kind of scared, flustered. The streets are gonna get a little bit more dangerous out there if you take us away. So we're just asking if you could find some more funding for us. It'd be great. I know you guys got money somewhere because this state got money. This state got money. I'm not finna cry a river, but please find some funding.
Thank you, Noah. Clive? Welcome, Clive. Then we have Charles, Howard Gale, Yvette, Garrick, and then we'll go to our other list. If you're online, we have about 8 more speakers, and we're going online.
My name is Clive Hayward. I've safely performed on the waterfront for the last 11 years. This weekend, I saw real safety problems. Sunday, a shell game hustlers working the promenade. That's the first time I've seen that scam openly in Seattle, and it can take large amounts of money from tourists. Friday, I witnessed an assault. Saturday, I witnessed a group of teenagers running down the promenade with a handgun in his hand. It feels like every day I'm calling 911. The waterfront needs a real police presence focused on actual safety. During FIFA-related activities, outreach teams and police walked the promenade. That shows you know how to staff the waterfront. Please focus on police training, outreach, professional, as opposed to what we have right now with the ESU security services.
Thank you, Clive. Next, we have Charles. It's Charles, followed by Howard Gale. Is Charles here? Charles, then Howard Gale, and then Charles?
Yep.
Charles.
Oh, I start now?
Yeah, whenever you want.
Thank you
We'll
for
start your
meeting
time. You're good.
everybody. You know, nice to see everybody's here on a nice, beautiful day. I feel like if you take this away from me, you're gonna steal my career. I really built this up and helped out my community, saved lives, really looked out for a lot of people. I've done a lot, lived in the community from the South Seattle area, you know, grew up and born and raised, Rainier Beach. So what are y'all acting like? Like, everybody got a salary big enough to fund us. You know, everybody got the money in Seattle, and I feel like a lot of people ain't pushing for it because they feel like other organizations might know this person or might know that person. No, we are here every day in this community active and helping out. I'm from here, I know what's going on. They're not gonna get some people out here that don't know what's going on. I see it personally every day in our community that we do a lot of work and save a lot of kids. You know, you see them all back here, they all waiting for us. Ain't nobody gonna help them out. That's all I'm gonna say.
Thank you, Charles. Howard Gale, Yvette Dinish, and then Garrick.
Good afternoon. Last Thursday, June 18th, was the 9th anniversary of the SPD murder of Charlena Lyles, a black pregnant woman in a mental health crisis, shot 7 times by the SPD, killing her unborn child and leaving her 4 children motherless. Not one city department, not one city official has memorialized or noted that anniversary. Why would they? The extreme dissonance between the proclamations that Black Lives Matter and the reality that Seattle continues to devalue those lives is just simply too stark. Who was killed after Charlena when we all swore it would never happen again? Danny Rodriguez, Ryan Smith, Terry Caver, Derek Hayden, Rigoberto Bambilla Paella, Urban Sehi just last year, and Jack Paleli just last winter was a homeless man in crisis confronted by the SPD for no reason. We memorialize those killed by gun violence unless it was an employee of the city holding that gun. We need to fund community passageways, but we also need to fund people who are victims and their families of gun violence perpetrated by police.
Miss Yvette, sounds like Howard wants reparations. So do I. So looking forward to that.
I want to thank you all for well-spent funding that uplifts our community, in particular the Department of Neighborhoods. I had no idea of what they do. But one of the things they do is a neighborhood matching fund, which supports events like the Rainier Beach Pilgrim Street Jazz Jam, which is free, and they have events every month. I brought the schedule here. And also, as a small token of appreciation for all that you do, one of the donations that my organization was given was hundreds of these water bottles for Starbucks. And so you each get one, including you, Jody. And so thank you again for all that you do, and keep up the good work.
Thank you, Miss Yvette. Next we have, thank you for those water bottles. Next we have Garrick. Is Garrick here? Garrick Pang. Welcome, Garrick. And if you're online, we have about a couple more speakers, and then we will go to online. So if you're not present, please jump on, and we will come to you about after 5 speakers. Thank you, Miss Yvette. Welcome, Garrick.
Before I begin, I just want to thank all of the Community Passageways students who spoke. You were all so well spoken, and your city's very proud of you, so well done. For you again, Council, I want to just thank you on behalf of our city. I met many of you before back in April when I came here and shared that I'm a part of this group who meet in downtown Seattle at Westlake Center every Thursday. We pray for each one of you by name because we care about the city and we care about each one of you. And we recognize that your job is difficult and often thankless. So thank you. I also want to thank you. I'm a part of a group called victoryseattle.org, and we are doing outreach for the World Cup. And our city is shining during FIFA and the World Cup. It is so wonderful. I've been at the stadium for our first 2 matches. I'll be there at all of them. I haven't been in the stadium, but I've been out and around. And to see the nations coming together, people hugging from different countries and different teams, and Seattle is shining. So I want to just say thank you to you for all.
Thank you. Next we have Thomas Jackson, followed by, I can't read this name, number 32, and then we have Hasir and David. So this is the last sheet. So we have Thomas. Yep, whenever you want. You can do either mic, whichever one you're most comfortable with.
I'll stay right here. All right. My name's Thomas Jackson. Everybody calls me Tom Jack. And although I'm a guardianship coordinator for Rainier Beach Action Coalition, and I've done 3 years, although I've done 3 years of work with Community Passageways as a critical incident responder. Today, I'm coming to you as a community member and someone that lives on MLK and Othello. And I've recently fallen in love with the idea that we can use fine arts to help our youth get to trauma-informed care and to get them to therapeutic services. And so I created a program called From Ops to Opportunities that Community Passageways is getting behind. And that's just a beautiful thing because we want to be able to help our youth get to some great opportunities. I'm bringing in some Grammy Award-winning producers, Grammy Award-winning songwriters, and we're going to get them, we're going to get the kids right. So the ask is, I just want to know, what will you guys do to help alongside of that? It's already going forward. So.
Thank you, Tom Jack. Whoever signed up after Tom Jack, number 32, I can't read. It's Caleyn, maybe? So. Okay, and then we have Hasir and David. Solon? Okay, no worries. Welcome. It's Solon? Awesome, welcome Solon. Then we have Hasir and then David.
Good evening, everybody. My name is
Grab
Solomon.
that mic.
Grab the mic. We'll restart your time. Grab the mic. Just make sure you're talking right in the mic.
Okay.
Yep. Get real close and comfy.
All right. Good evening, everybody. My name is Solomon. I'm a recent graduate at Rainier Beach High School. So I'm here today to speak about why community passageways must continue to be a part of our schools and our communities. Their work goes beyond programs. They provide mentorship, opportunities, internships for students, resources, conflict resolution, violence prevention, and support young people whenever they need it the most. So for me, this is very personal. I was once going through a lot of domestic violence outside of school and all that, navigating foster care and challenges basically inside and outside of school. I feel like giving up honestly, but my case manager, I'm not sure he's here right now, and Miss Crystal was on my side all the time. Without them, I don't believe I would be preparing to graduate high school. So in general, I think they should stay to help us just persevere through high school and what's all done. And basically,
Thank you, Solon. Good job. Hasir. Hasir and then David Long. Is Hasir here? Hasir Brown? No? Okay, no worries. Thank you about that. And then David Long. What's up, David?
Am I on? Is this good?
Yep.
All right, so my name is David Long. I am a lifelong Seattleite, and I actually currently live on 23rd and Jackson. And I didn't know who the people in the yellow shirts were, but now I know they are community passageways. And I say that because as a lifelong Seattleite, as a person that has 2 daughters, I can tell you beyond a shadow of a doubt that whatever it takes to find the money, please find the money. These people are there every single day the kids get out of school. They know the kids, they know the community. We are older, and we do our best to stay involved, but they are involved. So whatever the council needs to do, whatever the city needs to do, whatever any organizations need to do, we have to do it because they are not only needed, they must continue to be able to do what they do. We have all lost somebody close to us from gun violence. If this group isn't here, that will continue and it will expand. So please do whatever you can to make sure that community passageways continues.
Now we're going to jump online. We have Rose. You're going to press *6. Sawyer, you're not present. Cy, David Haynes is not present. And then Leah. So we have 5 more speakers for public comment. Rose, *6.
Hello, my name is Rose. Trans people have been experiencing incredible rates of violence. Last week I read names of individuals that have been killed. We have 3 more of this week. Yesterday, Gaija Walters was killed in Mobile, Alabama. The day before that, Ricky Easton was killed in Ohio. And last week, we finally had the body found of one of our community members in Renton who apparently had killed herself. We are having individuals in our community that are disappearing left and right and center because of the violence that we are experiencing. 2 weeks ago, I have a friend that went missing. I have no idea where she went. And this is something that is happening to us. We are having people that are experiencing violence all over Cal Anderson. We have people that are being nabbed by the cops. We have 2 individuals that were nabbed off the steps of Cal Anderson last night. The longer we wait to do something for our community, the worse this is going to continue happening. Every day has consequences.
Thank you, Rose. Excuse me. Sawyer, Cy, David Haynes, I know you're not present. We have Leah Hall. *6, unmute yourself.
*6, Leah. There you go.
Hi, can you hear me?
A little bit.
Hello? Oh,
Hi, we can hear you.
Sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead and start.
thank you. Thank you, council members, for taking this time. And my name is Leah Hall. I'm a Rainier Beach resident. I also have you out there. It's heartening to see all of you. This is really showing what community and commitment looks like. All these people sitting in front of you today. I want to thank Councilmember Kettle and Lynn for doing the walking meeting a number of months ago. They were able to see the 5 schools there, Dunlap, Sugiyama, Interagency, Rainier Beach, South Shore. There are also daycares and after-school programs and a community center full of so many futures on the line. And my own family, as some of you know, have been there during gunfire where my children were in the line of fire. And then, unfortunately, as we were organizing after that, we lost Ty John and Trevay, also deserve a future. I just want to say this most important piece, that CT, our community passageways, is uniquely positioned to do something.
Thank you, Leah. Next, we have David Haynes, star 6. And then I see Sawyer and Cy. You're not present, but you're next. David Haynes.
Hi. Thank you, David Haynes. I'd like to address Resolution 32206 about the integrated resources of City Light. Is there any way we can get some seed money to celebrate the entrepreneurial spirit of alternative, non-toxic, independent from the grid technology? Like if the electricities go out and the wind gets up, you can have like a mini solar, a mini windmill, where you can do it yourself and recharge like some of the things in your home. And could we please protect the battery packs that City Light wants to reach into our homes and take away our electricity so they can recharge the cruise boats? Seems to be a concern. The other thing is, it's kind of offensive that Community Passageways is going to use a proclamation to play a race card and browbeat the council into more money. And it's quite another thing to purposely help innocents compared to purposely helping felons. Stop helping the felons and help the innocent kids, and stop running interference for the adults who are listed as 27 and 24 who are.
Thank you, Mr. Haynes. I see Cy S, star 6 to unmute yourself.
Can you hear me, Council President?
Yes, we can hear you. Go right ahead.
Okay. Good afternoon, Council President and Council members. While I greatly respect the stories shared today, public funding must be based on facts, accountability, and trust. As a recent DV survivor, I know how tough it is when someone you grow up with and looks up to have abuses hidden from the people who depend on their services. There are complexities that only us Black and brown parents often have to deal with and navigate. Particularly, we have to deal with the lack of credibility that other forms of survivors may often not be questioned on. I urge you to not restore funding to community passageways at this time for 4 reasons. 1, accountability. I strongly urge the City of Seattle to make a records request to Clark Nuber with King County, as well as other sources of evidence, since there are many issues with unsafe and criminal uses of taxpayer dollars by community. At this point, public funds need clear oversight. It is very unfortunate that the city has left the rate.
Thank you, Cy. And I don't see Sawyer. Is Sawyer online? It says not present. I'll just wait for IT. I don't see them present. Nope. Okay.
Negative.
No, thank you, son. And then is there any more public commenter that have signed up? No? Okay, awesome. Okay, so the public comment period is now closed. I want to send a heartfelt thank you to all the people that came today to speak, especially all the young people. Excuse me. All the young people that came and spoke today who were in college or recently graduated or in the program. It's hard to get up and talk in front of people, and really appreciate hearing their stories about the impact on a lot of these programs that they are having and how important it is for the summer. And I know Councilmember Lynn is working really hard with our mayor's office and the city departments on finding solutions. And so I know that we all care about that, but I also know that, you know, funding is showing how we care as well. It's not just words. So I'm very aware of that. So I just want to thank Councilmember Lynn for his work on that, because I know he's a big advocate of the programs as well. So we might not have an answer today, but know that that is a solution that we are working towards. So I just wanted to recognize that and thank you all for coming, especially our babies coming. And then I also, as we transition, now we're going to transition into our meeting, colleagues. And so if there's no objection, the introduction referral calendar will be adopted. Hearing no objection, the introduction and referral calendar is adopted. Thank you all. Thank you all for coming down here as well. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. If there's no objection, the introduction and referral calendar is adopted. Hearing no objection, the agenda will be adopted. Or excuse me, let me rewind, let me reset. If there's no objection, the introduction referral calendar will be adopted. Hearing none, the introduction referral calendar is adopted. If there's no objection, the agenda will be adopted. Hearing no objection, the agenda is adopted. We're now going to consider the proposed consent calendar. Items on the consent calendar include minutes, minutes of our June meeting last week, June 16th. Thank you, 2026. It wasn't in my notes. It's just underscore. I couldn't do that fast in my head. Council Bill 121, 235, payment of the bills. 3 bills, 1 resolution, 4 appointments from the Parks and City Light Committee, and 3 appointments from the Land Use and Sustainability Committee. Are there any items council members would like to remove from today's consent calendar? Hearing none, I move to adopt the consent calendar. Is there a second?
Second.
Is there a second?
I heard a second.
Okay, thank you. It's been, okay, great, thank you. I just didn't hear you in the mic. It's been moved and second to adopt the consent calendar. Will the clerk please call the roll on the adoption of the consent calendar?
Councilmember Juarez.
Aye.
Councilmember Kettle.
Aye.
Councilmember Lynn.
Yes.
Councilmember Rink.
Yes.
Councilmember Saka.
Aye.
Councilmember Foster.
Yes.
Council President Hollingsworth.
Yes.
7 in favor, none opposed.
Consent calendar is adopted. Will the clerk please affix my signature to the minutes and legislation on the consent calendar on my behalf? Now we're jumping right into the meeting. Clerk, will you please read item number 1 into the record?
Agenda item 1, Council Bill 121208, an ordinance amending ordinance 127156, adopting the 2025 budget, including the capital improvement program, changing appropriations to various departments and budget control levels, and ratifying and confirming certain prior acts, all by a 3/4 vote of the City Council. The committee recommends council pass the council bill.
5, 6, 7. And we have exactly 3/4 of the council members here today. On behalf of Councilmember Strauss, I'm going to provide the committee report. Councilmember Strauss is excused today as he attends the Association of Washington Cities on behalf of the city of Seattle. I'll be addressing the next 2 bills on behalf. They are standard piece of the annual budget legislation. This bill in the 2025, wait, is this 2? Council bill, okay, excuse me. This bill in the 2025 exceptions ordinance makes various adjustments to 2025 adopted budget to complete the city's accounting process for the year. The bill provides retroactive budget authority to cover prior year spending. The total requested exceptions in this bill are $8.1 million. The majority of those costs, $5.9 million, are increases to the healthcare fund due to substantially, sorry, I can't read that word, higher than expected medical and dental claims in the last quarter of 2025. The bill was approved unanimously in the Finance, Native Communities, and Tribal Governments Committee with a do pass recommendation. Colleagues, are there any questions regarding the bill before us? Okay, awesome. Will the clerk please call the roll on the passage of the bill?
Councilmember Juarez.
Aye.
Councilmember Kettle.
Aye.
Councilmember Lynn.
Yes.
Councilmember Rink.
Yes.
Councilmember Saka.
Aye.
Councilmember Foster.
Yes.
Council President Hollingsworth.
Yes.
7 in favor, none opposed.
Bill passes. Chair will sign it. Will the clerk please affix my signature to the legislation on my behalf? Substantially, okay? That's the word. Thank you. Will the clerk please read item number 2 into the record?
Agenda item 2, Council Bill 121209, ordinance amending ordinance 127362, adopting the 2026 budget, including the capital improvement program, changing appropriations to various departments and budget control levels from various funds, and ratifying and confirming certain prior acts, all by a 3/4 vote of the City Council. Committee recommends council pass the bill.
This bill is the annual 2026, is this the carry forward? Yes. the bill numbers on this are not matching what's on the, but I will read this. The bill is the annual 2026 carry forward ordinance. It requests the reappropriation of select departments' unspent budget authority so they may continue or complete programs and projects that have not been finished yet. This legislation requests to carry forward $138 million, the majority of which funds are in the Office of Planning and Community Development for Equitable Development Initiative funds and Office of Housing funds for long-term projects that have been awarded but not yet spent. The bill was approved unanimously in the Finance, Native Communities, and Tribal Governments Committee with a due pass. Colleagues, are there any questions regarding the bill before us? Okay, awesome. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Juarez.
Aye.
Councilmember Kettle.
Aye.
Councilmember Lynn.
Yes.
Councilmember Rink.
Yes.
Councilmember Saka.
Aye.
Councilmember Foster.
Yes.
Council President Hollingsworth.
Yes.
7 in favor, none opposed.
Awesome. Bill passes. Chair will sign it. Will the clerk please affix my signature to the legislation on my behalf? Colleagues, there were no items removed from the consent calendar. There's not a resolution, but there are proclamations. And the first one, I know I've been the proclamation queen for a little bit. I have a proclamation proclaiming July 10th, 2026 to be Martha Newman Day for signature today. We will be presenting this proclamation. Martha spent over 25 years in our government agencies, and I believe over 10 to 15 years, I can't remember if it's 10 or 15, I think it's 15, at Seattle Public Utilities. She has staffed myself and Councilmember Lynn on the Regional Water Quality Committee, and also when Councilmember Kettle was on there last year as well, and is a great person. So would love folks' signatures. And if there's no further comments regarding this proclamation, would love for us to take the roll to see who would like to sign on. And we'll be presenting this downstairs tomorrow for her retirement party.
Councilmember Juarez.
Aye.
Councilmember Kettle.
Aye.
Councilmember Lynn.
Yes.
Councilmember Rink.
Yes.
Councilmember Saka.
Aye.
Councilmember Foster.
Yes.
Council President Hollingsworth.
Yes.
7 signatures will be affixed.
Awesome. Thank you, colleagues. Next, Councilmember Foster has a proclamation proclaiming June 26 as Seattle Storm Day for signature. Councilmember Foster.
Thank you so much, Council President. Colleagues, really excited to ask for your support of this proclamation recognizing June 26th as Seattle Storm Day. As many of you all know, I am a big Seattle Storm fan. I am still thinking about Awa's block in the final seconds of the game last night. It was a moment. And it's really exciting for me because, we have a team here who has 4 championships. We have a team who has welcomed some really star rookie talent, and we are really bringing in the next generation of leadership on our team. But beyond that, the ownership group of the Storm, Force 10 Hoops, is also an example of something that is all too rare, which is a women-led ownership group. And it is really exciting to get to honor and celebrate that, as well as the fact that our WNBA team has one of the first practice facilities that was dedicated solely to the team in the league. So there is a lot for us to celebrate, and Seattle continues to be a basketball town. So really excited to bring forth this proclamation, and I want to thank Councilmember Juarez, Councilmember Hollingsworth, and Councilmember Kettle as well for your engagement and support and leadership on this proclamation, and look forward to presenting this to the team. And colleagues, I ask for your support.
Thank you, Councilmember Foster, for your leadership in steering this forward. And I will pause here to see if anyone else has any comments regarding the Seattle Storm Day.
Well,
Councilmember Juarez.
I'm looking at Councilmember Foster because, for the record, Councilmember Foster was a total fangirl at the Torrent and with Megan Rapinoe there. But I just want to reiterate, we put together this proclamation and worked with the ownership group. And as I like to share, and I know some people get a little annoyed, but the Seattle Storm is Seattle's only winning team, not the Mariners. Not the Sonics. What's the other one? The football one. What's the football team called?
Seahawks.
Seahawks. We've won 4 And we're off to a shaky season, but that's okay because we got some good people. And I'm just glad that I got Council President and Dion. No shade to the rest of y'all, but we love women's basketball, and especially women's NCAA. And I'm just so sad that I won't be there Friday because you will be handing off to Floje. So how exciting is that? At the Seattle Center or the Storm Practice Facility, which is beautiful. And I just think it's good that we now can, celebrate the storm because 5-6 years ago, people didn't talk about the storm, and now it's a thing. So thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Juarez. Councilmember Kettle.
Oh, here we go. All right.
Council President, I just wanted to, the advantage of being a girl dad and of young basketball players, I know firsthand the outreach the team does, the Seattle Storm does with community, particularly with kids, and not just the girls, but boys and girls, but especially the girls, and the example that they set for these young women and these girls as they, look to get involved in team sports, and it's so important. And the outreach to community is so important, and then really also kind of with their performance center in Inner Bay, which by the way is in District 7, not the disputed area between District 6 and 7, side note, is a great way to connect with community and provide those opportunities for our young people. And I think that's something that's not truly known as well as it could be, and I just wanted to give that shout out to the Storm and their engagement with community. Thank you, Council President.
Awesome. Thank you, Councilmember Kettle. You're talking a lot of mess without Councilmember Strauss not here.
Yeah, exactly.
Just saying. Okay, so.
Council President?
Yeah, Councilmember Foster.
Thank you so much, Council President, Councilmember Juarez, and Councilmember Kettle. I just now I can't help but say a few additional words. And the reason I want to do that is I want to say this. I would be remiss if I didn't mention the fact that not only do we get to celebrate this team, but we get to celebrate the team at a moment that's critical for the league. And I know a lot of us think a lot about fairness and equity, but we're doing this at a moment right after they passed a historic collective bargaining agreement, and where we're starting to see women finally in women's sports get paid what they are owed and what they are worth, and approaching that. And I would also be remiss to say, I'm going to drag you into this, Council President, that it's exciting to get to celebrate this with a Council President who's a former player and a coach. And I think that's not something a lot of other city councils get to brag about. And I think that is really exciting for us. And lastly, I'll say, I think we really have welcomed some of the best rookies in the league to Seattle. And I think we are going to see that over the next 5, 10, 15 years, maybe 20 years if we get to be as lucky as we were with Sue Bird again and have any of these rookies play their entire careers here. And I'll close with, I think Dom Malonga dropped 37 points
38
last night. Ma'am, thank you. And I'm just in awe of the talent that is coming from this team. And I think it's something that we have to continue to really celebrate. So, colleagues, I'm just really excited about this. And Deborah Juarez was right. I am a fangirl. I apologize to anybody who has to be there with me on Friday when I give them this proclamation because I'm a lose it. So I'm really looking forward to this. It's really exciting. All right, with that, let's sign this thing. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you, Councilmember Fangirl. And no, I'm just playing. Councilmember Foster and season ticket holder for the Storm as well. We know that she loves women's basketball and just great women's sports just in general. So grateful for your leadership on this and highlighting the Seattle Storm.
Oh, there's our logo 3.
Okay, awesome.
Just shout out to the people who give me public comment at the Storm games. I got some outside last night, so shout out to those folks as well.
Hey. We love it. We'd love to see it. This is great. I'm excited. Thank you for letting me just ride in the car for this moment. Okay, so thank you. You did all the work, and you and Councilmember Juarez. Can we call the roll? If there's no further discussion, can we take the roll to see who wants to sign? Is that okay, Jody?
Councilmember Juarez.
Aye.
Councilmember Kettle.
Aye.
Councilmember Lynn.
Yes.
Councilmember Rink.
Yes.
Councilmember Saka.
Aye.
Councilmember Foster.
Yes.
Council President Hollingsworth.
Yes.
7 signatures will be affixed.
Awesome. And Councilmember Foster will deliver a great proclamation and speech on Friday. Friday. She might cry. Colleagues, is there any more further business to come before the council? Before we go, I do want to say, and I actually forgot to say this last week, happy Father's Day to the dads on the council, Councilmember Saka, Councilmember Kettle, and Councilmember Lynn. Working with you all is an absolute treat, but to see the interaction that you've had with your family and your kids and the dads that you are, it makes me see you all in a very different light. And not just a colleague, but just, I'm really close to my dad. And so just the impact that you have on your kids, it really creates such strong individuals. And I just wanted to just say I'm honored to be able to work with all the dads on the council and all the work that you all do. And I see how you all love on your families and your kids, okay? So I just wanted to say happy Father's Day to you all, okay? And if there's no other further business to come for the council, we're going to jump right into executive session. So, hearing no further business, we're now going to move into executive session. As presiding officer, I am announcing that the Seattle City Council will now convene into the executive session. The purpose of the executive session is to discuss pending, potential, and actual litigation. The council's executive session is an opportunity for the council to discuss confidential legal matters with the city attorneys, as authorized by law. A legal monitor from the city attorney's office is always present to ensure the council reserves questions for policies for open sessions. I expect the time of the executive session to end by 5 p.m. And if I have to extend that even more, I will. So we're looking at about till 5 p.m. Okay, colleagues? Okay, awesome. If I don't hear any further business, it is 3:34 p.m. and this council meeting is adjourned. Thank you.